Welcome back to episode 7. The engine is finally ready to go back in the frame. So today we are going to put the engine back in. Before I can put the engine back in, I need to get the bike genuinely off the table this time. But to do that, I need handlebars. So today is actually more about building the perfect front end. What we're going to do, we're going to put on handlebars, obviously. I'm not using the risers that I used before. Today I'm mounting the steering stabilizer, and more importantly, I've got a rubber mounted handlebar mount steering stabilizer setup thing, which means all you people out there that complain that the 690's got too many vibrations, although that is not actually true. You just put bar ends in, or you put on hand guards, metal ones that is, vibrations and handlebars go away, but without them, yes, you do get numb fingers or whatever. But today I am going to get the front end together so I can get it off the table. Let's get into it. Handlebars are covered in spiders, so previously on Idiot Builds Motorcycle. This is the setup that I was running with. You have a base plate, put your handlebars on here. Let's do it. That goes on there, like so. That goes on there, and then your steering stable, although it was the other way around, goes in there, and your little bar comes out, goes into a little thing down there. This is great because I am a lanky sack turd. This is perfect. Lower foot pegs, which we'll get onto, and obviously that's massively high. This was perfect for me. When it was lower, it was too low. It was a nightmare. It was doing my back in, even though I do rubber bent knees. I do. And I really honestly didn't have any issue with vibration at all. Don't actually know why I've done this. Now, even though I don't have any issues with vibrations at all, on the other 690, which we're not going to talk about, without the bar ends in or the hand guards on, after about 2 hours of riding, numb fingers, even though you're holding on, get on with it. Even though I don't really think I'm going to have any issues. I think basically I've only done this for your pleasure. Billet Racing products. This is now where the steering stabilizer is going to go. This is a rubber mounted steering stabilizer handlebar mount. That's the right order. It's pretty straightforward. It raises your handlebars, probably not quite as high as that. I think I can cope with losing a little bit. For super long journeys, this is what you need. If you really are struggling and you think that even with bar ends and, hand guards or whatever, you can't cope with the vibrations, too delicate, then get one of these. Let's do it. Now, before I put it all on and put it together, one of the great things about the 690 Enduro, all years, I think, is that you've got multiple mounting positions. For instance, with these, which are very similar, so very much like the stock handlebar mounts, these can change angle, just like the ones that are stock. So you can mount this there, you can mount this there, and you can also change the position. So you can move your handlebars quite a considerable distance forwards and backwards. And right off the bat, this completely eliminates that. So there's only one hole, and that is that one there that it mounts to. It does mean, when it's all done up, I'll show you, your handlebars are directly above your forks, which kind of technically is where they should be, I'm guessing. I mean, I've read so many bloody forums that have said exactly that. Don't have them forward, don't have them back, because then you get like a sweeping motion, almost like you're doing like a, what's that sideways running man thing? I don't know. So it also comes with softer little rubber bungs if you're even more delicate. But I'm going to try the red ones first to see how delicate I am, because again, I don't really feel like I need it. I was just on a spending frenzy and it got a bit out of hand. So they're pretty idiot proof. That one's got right or an R, and that one's got an L on it. Try getting that wrong. Now, I'm just gonna pop this on. I'm only gonna loosely mount it because when I put in all the brackets and stuff to properly fit it, I'm gonna need to take it back off again. But just so it's in place, and because I'm impatient, that is loosely fitted. Right, the handlebars are on. They are at the wrong angle, but that is no importante. It's a whole extra day later. I did all that yesterday, and then I got completely bogged down with all these now if I do that, then I've got to do that first, and I've got to do that first, I've got to do that first, and I've got to do that first, and that'd be easier before I take it off the bench, and all that sorts of nonsense. So I'm just gonna do a few little things. I'm gonna put on the side stand switch, even though I have built a eliminator for it. What else? I'm going to put all the brake lines and stuff on. Once they're all secured, then get it off, get the engine in. This is the old swing arm engine hanging bolt. Swing arm goes there, engine hangs on that. This is the one I couldn't get the bit out of the end of. My genius plan is that I'm going to force this one through so each engine bolt holds the swing arm in place, raise the engine up into place, push a new one back through. Should be really simple, right? Oh my god, it's... Oh my god, it's so heavy. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. So you've got an old 690 SMC Enduro, and you keep seeing the new ones. You keep looking at the new one and thinking, do I really want the new one? What about the new one do I really actually like? Do I really need traction control, rider modes, and no screen to control that, or just the settings or whatever? Maybe that's all just a load of electronics that might break on the trail and leave you a little bit stranded. Maybe. More than likely what you're thinking is, I want it because of some form of like willy wagging. Why? What's that all about? Basically, you look at the old one and there's like loads of, as I said before, silver bits which you don't really want. Devil is in the details. That is why I've gone to quite a lot of effort to make sure that this old monster looks as modern as possible, and just getting rid of the silver bits. So it would have been mental not to Cerakote them, because let's be honest, why were the engine hangers silver? It looked shit. So they gotta go. Or maybe it's not about willy wagging. Maybe it's about having the really old model and feeling like you've really outgrown the power, and you want something that just kind of scares you again. But you don't want to go up to like a 1290 super adventure thing, or you don't want whatever. Maybe that's why you want the newer model, because you've got that little bit more power. Maybe that's what it is. Those new ones ain't going to stand a chance, and I'm looking forward to going up against them. Well, we've got another one, we've got a 2018 one, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it compares. Maybe that's why you want a new one, because you're tired of being left behind by the new model with the new engine. Ooh, it is delicious, and it is quite scary, and it's got traction control, which this does not. Or at least I hope it's as much of a monster as the other one. We'll see. Got a small window of opportunity between rain, essentially. So 2009 690 Enduro R comes with a small dash, but importantly it has this, which is for a little thing that you put on your handlebars, which means you can use it as an ICO for rally racing and stuff. The Enduro E from the year before, the 2008, and the SMCs and all that have the big one, which looks like this. The problem is when you switch to the SMC headlight, as I've done, so this is the bracket for the bigger speedo. Trouble with it is that A, it doesn't really fit the little speedo, so I was going to just drill a little hole there to make a little gap, a little hole there, a little hole there, and then it just fits in. We've still got to fit the Cumpan Cockpit Assistant. I don't want it to be all the way down here because it's only about that deep, so I need it to be a little bit higher, so I've got to make a bracket for this as well. So if you remember at the beginning of the video series, I was talking about how I do want a USB port, but it has to be waterproof. I can't be dealing with all this nonsense where you've got like a port which is like open to the rain, so as soon as it gets rained on, the fuse blows. No, not up for that. This is the old headlight, so just ignore the fact that it's disgusting and battered. Here's the theory. I'm going to do an LED headlight upgrade. We're changing all of this. It's not going to look like this, but it is going to be roughly the same shape. What I really want to do is have my USB thing. Cable goes in there, it plugs in up there, and then it's waterproof. No water can get into that. So what I need to do is get this in here, because actually, I don't know if you can see this, in there is plenty of space just down in that region there, even with the headlight in. So I've got a few things to consider. I know that the LED headlight conversion has a bracket which regulates the power going into it, so it keeps it nice and steady. That needs to be breathable. So my thinking is I'm going to use this as a test bed. Firstly, I'm going to cut a circular hole in here to fit this in so that this can mount here. Problem is that the winkers need to come out through here. Normally that's where the winkers go. That's where the winkers goes. But if this is there, then the winkers can't go there. Then I've got to make a bracket that goes on top of this, which seals all the holes, which I can then seal with silicone sealant. Come on, does that make any sense? Let's get into it. This is just a test run. That is a win, definitely. So now I've got to make a template of this, make a bracket to go on top of this, and a slightly raised mount for the Cockpit Assistant. Got a bit of baked drain pipe.
The stuff gets everywhere.
You can see it. It's been sat outside for so long, it's full of water. Right, I'll put that aside to dry for 24 hours and then we'll come back to it. Alright, I reckon that's dry. Is that a day? Yeah, rock solid. So I've dremeled it a little bit to give it a little bit of a nicer angle through there. Right, you get the idea on how this works. I've made that almost entirely flush. So I've got what used to be one of these things which I bought for plugging up the secondary exhaust system. So I've cut one of them in half and made two little rubber doodahs. So these go on here like this. So you get the idea, right? So it is a rubber mounted platform for the cockass. These go on here. Not super tight because it needs to be movable. So you can just see it snugging down to level out that platform. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a bit of movement in there. So it just takes a little bit of the vibration out. So if you're ever wondering why it's taking so long to build this bike, this is why. Endless rain. Here it is. That's why I need it. That thing there. Obviously, I don't need a speedo because I've got a speedo. I need rev counter, oil temperature, you know, all the things. Come on. It's actually a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. So I have cut that down just a little bit, tidied it up a touch. So that's going to mount on there like so. And this little rubber mounted platform. Got a proper little 3M pad. That's going to go on there. That's going to go on top of it. And then you've got a nice little platform, which is a nice height. You get. Moving on, before all this goes together, I've got more to do.
The stuff gets absolutely everywhere, definitely wear a mask. Ish.
Let's pop in the LED headlight, put it all together. Basically what my hair looked like when I was 12. So, LED headlight with high and low beam. I'm not going to show you a full, taking out the old bulb, putting it in, because actually I've been using it before. So, it's pretty straightforward. The only thing that's a bit of a pain is getting this rubber boot over to the middle bit of the actual light itself. You need to make sure it's got somewhere to breathe at the back, because it does have a little fan at the back to extract heat, blow it out. And when you install it, you need to make sure that those 2 points, those 2 arrows, have to be lined up. And it is a 4-chip LED, so it's got high and low, so it does do the job. It is mega good. I love it. Anyway, right, let's get this installed. It's pretty straight. So it literally slots in as you'd expect. So roll that all the way back. That lines up. Get your little grippy thing. And there it is. All attached and pinned down. Basically, if you can change a headlight bulb, you can do this. And most importantly, it does have high and low beam still. Pop that on the back. It's just like a regular bulb. We've also got a little LED running light as well. Get that in. Right. I think it's time to prep the older new headlight mask. First things first. Gonna be good. So in order to see if it all fits, I'm not going to connect it all up now, but I do need the Mudguard because the, oh my god, just do it. There it is, loosely mounted. These are the things that the headlight rests on. Let's go get it. I'm going to need to do some careful shimmying of cables inside, but I think it's going to work. Here it is. Yes. Got two different sets of holes, which means that all you've got to do if you want to change the angle, basically the idea is for adventure riding where I need a bit of space so I can stand forward, so I can come up and down in this area. I have it set forward. I'm doing like supermoto road riding stuff or going to the track. I can either completely take it off or I can adjust it, set it to the other holes and then lean it right back. So it's just like a nice slick windshield creating a bubble going up over me. That's the theory anyway. And of course, that's where Cockpit Assistant is going to be. Right, it's on, it fits, everything works. Just a couple of things left to do before the front end is good to go. So the screen, this isn't the first one I've made, but one thing I will say is that if you miscalculate and end up lurching your body forward, it's quite sharp. So, bit of rubber edging. So you just stick it on the ridge first, and then you go round again, and then you do the front underneath and then the back underneath and get it nice and flush. But just make sure to give it a little bit of a pull on the corners, otherwise it really does flare out, you know? Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, to get rid of the hideous hand-numbing micro vibrations in the handlebars, you either need bar ends, which I'm obviously not going to use, or metal, as in metal supported handguards. These are gross! And there really is nowhere to put the indicators now. That is exactly where the indicator would come out. So let's get on that. So if I understand it correctly, the new track day rules are that you've got to have a guard on your brake, or is it clutch? Or is it both? I don't really know. I did a quick search last night and got distracted. So even if I'm off-roading or I'm going to the track, I can just take these off. It really doesn't take a genius to figure out what's going on here. I cannot tell you the trials I've had to overcome to get these. They're the same, but they're new and shiny, and they've got integrated indicators. Come on. These are perfect solution because there is no space left inside. They're going to be great. I'm very excited. Oh, I nearly forgot a bit of this. Just remembered what this is for, and it's not for this. I'm going to have to buy some more of it. Where are we? Now that stops all the glare from the headlight coming up through here and reflecting off of this. Okay, before I go, I bought these rubber bungs so I could plug up the secondary air system, cut the ends off them. You can put them around the front bit of the handguard mounts. And that means if, like me, you don't really like running all of your cables along your bars and then in, I like them to be slightly away, you can put them on, you know? See, now the cables are rubbing on rubber rather than rubbing on a little metal edge. Right, that is it, come on. Right, that is it for episode 7. Obviously, it took way longer than I thought it was going to take. Word of advice, not only should you obviously bag and tag everything as you take it apart, but oh, for the love of bus, just take photographs before you take it apart so that when you put it back together, you're not like, oh, does that bit go that way? Or does that bit go that way? Am I an idiot? Yes, I'm an idiot. It's taken ages just to be like, what does that connect to? What does that connect to? And I need to put that on before I put that on. Oh. It's okay, it's going all right for the most part. I figured it out. See you in episode 8 where I'm gonna skip ahead of filming me putting the wiring loom back on because it is like a puzzle if you haven't taken any pictures. And I'm gonna skip forward a little bit closer to being able to just at least start doing the diagnostics, getting the electrical stuff like fired up and just seeing what Tune ECU is saying about the condition of things like, just see you in the next one. Like and subscribe and share. Thanks.